Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Max. Station's name is Covered Caller. I'm Max Convexity Man on X. All right, so let's look at the market first. I got the divas working again, but let's check out. Well, I was really happy with this one. My portfolio was way up today, and I was trying to figure out why. And a lot of it's because of this one. This BITK is up 6.66%, or it was during regular hours. It's off a little bit during after hours, but it was an incredible day for Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think Ethereum was up 10%, or at least at one point I saw that it was. Well, it finished up 8%, but it's up 1.1 after hours. Heck yeah. Now I was hoping that would help blocks out more. Blocks didn't really capitalize on, and we'll get in the middle of why they didn't here in a second, but they were unable to capitalize on that big ramp in Bitcoin. Not ULTY though. ULTY was able to capitalize on it, up about a point, holding on to it in after hours. ULTI was the big winner of the day. ULTI was, well, no, they weren't. It looks like ULTY was the big winner of the day. ULTI settled. Their price came back down. They were up 2 or 3% for a little while, but I bet the price of Credo probably came back down. They had a long position in Credo. Sorry about that. CRDO. Yeah, it came down. When it opened, it was way up here this morning, and the value of their fund was a lot higher too. I showed you guys we have this trade. Gosh darn it, what is that? Let's get rid of that. All right. We have this trade in option strat. We can actually see what happened to it. They should have sold it first thing this morning. And maybe they did. But they probably had other stuff that went down in the fund. Yeah. I'm showing it's still a $38,000 profit, even where it sits now. So they probably had some other stuff go south on them. We'll look at the individual results. But yeah, that's a good looking trade, but it was looking a lot better. This morning it was wasn't it close to 220, something like that? In fact, it was, because it was, well, no, it was like it was right here. It was past 211. It was like 212. It was past 210, but not very far yet. And then I showed you guys that actually where it's at right now, it's worth like, 80,000, but whenever it expires, if they don't do anything with it and it's at the same place, it'll be worth 46. Okay. We went over that this morning. All right. Well, that's unfortunate that ULTI didn't. Looks like ULTY was the big winner today. Let's check out K yield. K yield was up 61 basis points. Yeah. It looks like ULTY was the big winner. Surprises everyone but me. So look at this. So I finally got this fixed. K yield, of course, has 14 million, of course, and that's awesome. We want K yield should have as much as blocks. K yield is an awesome idea. In fact, it pays about the same yield as blocks. Now it doesn't catch quite the NAV upside, but it doesn't catch quite the NAV downside. So we'll get into that in a second. Yeah, on the day it looks like this. Let's hit refresh. Oh, yeah, that's right. Blocks is the only one that's down. That's right. So out of the 4 divas, you can see here Alti was the best diva of the day, even beating K-Yield, even beating ULTI with that big win in Credo. Something happened to blocks towards the end of the day. But the best of the Devo competition was Chippy and QLDY, of course. QLDY is a beast. But look at this. So the Qs were up 78 basis points. ULTY got more than the Qs. I hear all the time ULTY is totally capped. It is on an intraday basis, but it's not capped between days, and it's capped at a higher level. So it doesn't mean it can't make any upside. It just can't make as much as the market. So this is definitely like an odd occurrence for it to be up more than the market. This may happen one day out of 4, but it's possible. Depends on what their underlines do and what happens. But in any event, it's not, but it happens about 3 days out of 4 to QLDY. The QLDY is up more than its underlying, which is the market. QLDY is a beast. Anyway, WPay looks good here, also up 84 basis points. Still, the bad news is all of the divas are down, since October 31st. ULTI is working its way back, but just ever so slowly. Blocks is still down 21%. ULTY is still down nearly 19. K-Yield is only down 8. Great job. WPay is down a little bit more than K-Yield, but that's really close. That is really close. Look at QLDY, only down 1.6 on the month. And compared to all these other good funds, that's impressive. That QLDY is impressive. All right. It would be a diva, but they just don't switch stocks into now. These are more fun to follow. Just because something's a diva doesn't mean I'm endorsing it. It doesn't mean it's, I don't even have any ULTI myself. But we're following the divas because they're all doing similar strategies where we can compare apples to apples. Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Yeah, it went better. I got it all working. I worked on it for like 2 hours after I got off the morning live stream, got it working. All right, so let's see what happened to ULTY today. It was actually the biggest winner of the day amongst the divas. And even amongst the non-divas, it was the biggest winner besides Chippy and QLDY. Anyway, we could see what happened here. They caught all the upside and plus a little bit of their stocks in their portfolio. The stocks in the portfolio was up 96 basis points. They were up 99. So that's really good. Full upside capture. Their biggest, it looks like SMR being up 4% really helped, and Teradyne being up 5% really helped. They had a couple that were down, but nothing really down big. IBM was down 1.2. All right, so now let's go to ULTI and see what happened here. These guys were killing it this morning. I mean, Credo finished up 10%. So, I mean, that's still a big winner. They got Mister, which was up, Mister had a huge day today, up 6%. Bloom Energy was up 6%. That's a huge day in Bloom Energy. They were on the wrong side of the Nebius trade and the Core Scientific trade. Here, I'm going to take that off the screen. They were on the wrong side of Nebius and Core and a few others, but this iron hit them hard. That's what happened. Iron was down 15% evidently, and TerraWolf was down 7%. Okay, well, anyway, once you add all that up, their average stock was up about a third of a point, and they were up more than a third of a point. So they actually did well. They did the same thing that ULTY did. ULTY beat its parent by a little bit, and so did these guys. Well, these guys beat their parent by a lot more than ULTY actually, because their parent was only up 30 basis points. ULTY basically tied their parent. Parent was up 1%, and they were up 1% also. All right, so let's go over here to K-Yield. Now it says 14 million. I'm so glad it says that instead of 4. All right, so K-Yield, what happened? Let's just go down the bottom line. Look at this. They tied their – well, but I don't think that's right. K-Yield wasn't really up 1.1. Obviously, I'm still getting some things worked out of this because K-Yield was up, right? K-Yield was up 61. So anyway, I'll keep working on that. But that's still good. So let's go back down to K-Yield. Still good. So K-Yield right here does have 14 million. It was up 61 basis points right here. So just pretend like that says 6, or this says 61 right here. The weighted average of their stock was 111. Obviously, they just, I think I know what happened here. But anyway, so they only caught about half the upside of their parent. So really, K-Yield, just on a one-day thing, didn't do as well of a job tracking its parents. Anyway, let's look at blocks. So blocks had some HUD 8 that was down 13%, and some iron that was down 15%, and Cypher that was down 10%. Holy cow. I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum went way up, but it didn't go all the way through the rest of the industry, did it? I'm trying to read you guys' comments. Well, but they did have Bitmine immersion, which is basically Ethereum, right? And it's up 10%. But man, they had some big losers too. All right. Well, let's see what they did though. Their parent was down a third, and they were down a little bit more. No big deal. All right, so that's it for those. But other than that one thing, this is looking a lot better. I'm going to work on this some more tonight, and then I'll have and then as soon as the trades load, I'm going to have a nightly show where I'm going to actually look at the option trades and look at the positions and all that kind of stuff. Do an ETF inspector style show, or I may do it first thing in the morning, but I'm going to try to do it tonight if the trades come out. ULTI has been better about releasing their trades the same night. So I'll check about 7 or 8 and try to get it out. But anyway, yeah, this ULTI trade is looking really good. But then I put in these ULTY trades a few days ago. And of course, this one's killing. ULTY has absolutely been killing lately. They got the upside of this gold trade. Look at this thing. What did they do here? 3-leg collar. You know, they're getting all the upside until 395 that you would get with stock. Then after 395, they're capped out, but they'll just roll out. But anyway, that trade's a big winner for them right now. And this is a ULTI trade in ADI. They need to roll this one. This one looks like it's past the capped out zone. Anyway, all right. Well, hey, Bon, what are you doing here? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all of you being here. Froggy, Marcus. Yeah, it was a decent day, especially for ULTY. Anyway, Defiance coming out with lightning spreaders for gold miners, gold, silver, amongst other single stocks. I have a video right now that I'm working on. I have the script written. I just need to shoot that. But yeah, there's lightning spreads are getting ready to be all over the place. The name of my video is 2026 is the year of the lightning spread. And in fact, they're already overseas. In fact, I showed that to you guys yesterday, I think, on the afternoon show. There's a company called Income Shares that is doing like a more dangerous version of the lightning spread. But anyway, yeah, the lightning spreads, that's the best technology out. I think a lot of people would agree that blocks and QLDY are, could have a place in the portfolio. They aren't for everybody, but they could definitely have a place. All right, Bond, you'd like some silver miners from them? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. They need to do something that's better than GLDY. That thing is a dog. I mean, not really. It just pays too much. I mean, it's the old one, pays more than it makes. But I mean, even gold, it's hard to pay more than it makes when it's something like gold. I mean, because gold's been having a good time lately. I saw a really good interview also today. I'll tell you guys about that in a second. But let's look at GLDY from Defiance, and just let's compare it to gold. All right, so it's only half a year, but their NAV's down $1.50, and that's in a rip-roaring bull market. I mean, gold's up 34%, but since it's just a half year, essentially gold's up 64%. Now, but they're still down a little bit. They're down, it looks like 10 or 15%. So, but like I always say, the call's coming from inside the house. They try to pay out at probably a 64% dividend or more. Remember, the underlying stock has to be up 1.3 times at least whatever you're trying to pay out if you expect flat NAV. But let's see what they paid. So they're paying 8 about on 20. So they're only paying about 40%. Okay, but 40 times 1.3 is like 55 or whatever. And so the rule, they actually, for these guys, they need more than that, or they need. They would probably need gold to even be up a little higher. They're a little less efficient even than that rule is. But you can look at a lot of stocks. I was just looking at XPay today. XDTE, they all pretty much have the same math. Let's look at XPay. I'll show you an example. We'll go from September 2024 to September 2025, and we're going to compare XPay to the SPY. But this is a real good example because we know what they pay. They pay 20%, and their underlines the SPY or the SPX. And see, they have NAV depletion. They dropped $3 in the market that was up, that's ripping. But that's not their fault. They pay 20%. Their underline was only up 19%. So it has to at least be up about 26%. So you can go through here and you can go 1 month later. I think October through October was a little bit better 1 year period. And I think their NAV's closer to flat there, but it happens to all of them. They just, look at the dividend multiplied by 1.3, and that's the bet you're making on the underlying. This one's about the same. But anyway, you can do it with, it's the same rule applies to SPY-I. It just doesn't, it's 1.3, you're multiplying it times 12. So SPY-I only needs 1.3 times 12, which is like 15 or 16 to have a flat NAV. So guess what? They can do it because look, SPY's up 16 right there. Their NAV is actually up like 40 cents, 50 cents or whatever, which is 1%. So, I mean, that's flat. It's a little bit, but if this had only been up a little bit less, they probably would have been flat. But it takes it takes some multiple of whatever they're paying because the money they pay comes out of the NAV. Yeah, they sell options, but the options they sell are correlated to the market. I mean, so because they're also, it's not only the options, lots of times they're paying you out of the price of the market going up. It's the whole package they're paying you out of. So in any event, but yeah, so, and that brings me to another thing. So I saw today did you guys see ULTY's payment? They declared a dividend of 58 cents. So that would be $5 a day, or it'd be 5 cents if it was on the old one. But however you figure it, 58 cents is way more than I thought they would pay. Remember, I said I thought it'd be about 60%. 58 cents actually comes to 75%. So ULTY still is looking for their underlying to be up 75 times 1.3, about 91% for them to have for them to have flat NAV. All right, so what's going on at Fidelity? Did Fidelity make the didn't somebody raise the margin rates or something? I hope that got fixed. Tasty Trade did the same thing to me, Bond. My account was showing it was up 12% yesterday, but they fixed it today. I still did well. I was up 1.5%. I added WPay and I added QLDY. I still have a little bit of cash, but I spent most of the cash adding those. So now my stocks are basically pretty much evenly split between ULTY, blocks, WPay, QLDY, and I have a little bit less, but still a pretty nice position in K yield also. So, but the main drivers are ULTY, blocks, WPay, and QLDY. So anyway, I hope that works out. I hope that works out better for me. All right, hey BR, what's up, man? How are things down there in Georgia? It's a beautiful day here in Austin. There's Grumpy, there's Bond, there's everybody. What do you mean? You wonder if YieldMax will let YMAX stay a pure covered call fund? I was thinking they were going to change ULTY and make it yield less, but based on this dividend, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like they're going to. But anyway, so I don't think they're going to have to change YMAX. What have you heard though? Or what? Oh, you mean, yeah, if they make it a lightning spread fund. Well, here's the thing that I think is interesting. Defiance is coming out with a whole suite of lightning spread funds, and lightning spread's kind of like margin, and that's kind of Defiance's jam. So maybe YieldMax will kind of let them do that. What I think would be really sweet, just like I'm looking forward to the Rex fund of funds coming out, I think a lightning spread fund of funds based on Defiance, because they have some good ones in there. Or that they filed for. They have all the usual suspects: Apple, Nvidia, Amazon. But then they also have some commodities. But I'm really looking forward to the Defiance lightning spread. Good job, Marcus. Marcus is almost always green. That's good. Marcus is a good allocator. He holds a bunch of those. You hold high yielders under 30. That's the whole key, because that says it all. Some of them are better at, but they can only work with what you give them to work with. So a portfolio that yields 30, you're only asking for the underlying to be up 39%. So let's say you miss it a little bit and the underline's up 35% or whatever, you're still fine. You know, it's no big deal. You aren't going to have any major problems like when you have a fund that pays 80 or something, and you need like 100% to offset 80. And then let's say that, you know, the market's only up, those funds were only up like 40%. Yeah, you have a lot more margin for error. So Grumpy bought 10 Nuggy shares and then it dropped 3.5. You bought 10 more. Really? Really? Oh, I hadn't heard about this yet. It's a yield boost. Okay. I would have thought it'd been double Y. Maybe that was taken, or NGYY, but no, this is okay. Well, I like the concept of it. It just got released at the wrong time. Gold's been pretty strong the past, but I don't know. It came out a little while back. Yeah, that's interesting. So it hasn't paid a dividend yet. Oh, it actually has. It paid 93 cents. It paid 2 dividends. Okay, let's see what it's paying. It paid 46 and 47. Okay, so what's 50 times 50? Is that like 2,500 or something? 50 times 50 would be $25. So, I mean, that's going to be like 100% payer. But yeah, that makes sense because it's from Granite shares. It's from Yield Boost. I mean, and that's just looking at 2 dividends. But 50 times 52 or 47 times 52 would probably be pretty close. So it's going to pay 100%, or at the rate they're going. That's interesting. Now, so that one, so the same thing applies to those as applied to anything. If you expect flat NAV on that one, you need like 130% gold rally, at least. You bought a little trend since it was down. Let's look at the trend. Trinity Capital, is this a closed-end fund? No, it's a stock. All right. Trinity Capital. I like to do this sometimes. If you like a stock, but then you want to see other stocks that are like it, sometimes they have peers right here, and you can see it's similar to Main, you know, it's similar to Gain. Anyway, let's see which hedge funds have this. Right there. There we have Van Eck. It's probably one of their ETFs, right? Has 2.4% of it, something called Malia Wealth, Marshall Wace, Two Sigma, Rockefeller Capital Management. Heck yeah, that one looks like a good one. It has a lot of institutional ownership. Good call there. Good call there. Okay, so you're up to 36 different income ETFs now. I have like 6 or 7 of them, but if you include partial shares, you know. Anyway, yeah, I thought GX was going weekly like right away. And also I checked their holdings and they're selling put spreads. So they've already started doing the strategy they filed for, where they've switched from the synthetic covered call to the lightning spread. So right now we have, how many lightning spreaders do we have out? We have GX, we have QLDY and blocks. But there's tons more coming. Yeah, I thought GX was weekly. Marcus says it is weekly. Maybe, all right, I'm down on it, but I'm thinking of adding, if it drops a bit further. Well, the thing about the lightning spread is it should go up faster. So, I mean, faster than the old one, you know. It's a rainy day in Georgia. It's beautiful here. You think they will gradually drop that's kind of what I was thinking. And that's why I predicted 60 for 2 reasons, because they lowered them. Because one thing, I ran the average IV here. I had AI do it. The average IV did drop, but it dropped about that much. But they're also selling an extra option. And I didn't really, I guess I didn't factor that in. So they're doing the covered strangle. So that somehow they've squirreled out a way to have safer stocks, I guess, with about the same, based on one payment, about the same IV. But yeah, I just figure it needs 100% out of the underlying, about, if you expect flat NAV. Some people don't expect flat NAV and whatever, and they'd be fine if the NAV was only down 20% and it was paying 80 or whatever. That looks like that's kind of the plan. The NAV could only be down like 20 if the underlying assets, which are, are up, 50 or something. Rain in Alabama. Yeah, we had that yesterday. I think it's moving west. Yeah, I'm telling you, QLDY is a decent looking fund. Okay, Charles, what are you saying? The first weekly payment in next week? Okay, 12/8. All right, so we'll see how it does. Oh, trends of BDC. I should have known. All right, a BDC is part of your anchor. All right, heck yeah. You've been adding to your anchor stocks rather than some of these ETFs. Good, especially that's good because they're into the pullbacks. I mean, I'm guessing your anchor stocks are more growth oriented. So, adding some into pullback, if you're bullish on the market, you could get some growth at a lower price, and you can probably use some of your yield you've been getting off the other ones. I know it. BITK was awesome. It was up like 6 at one point. I loved it. That's when I checked my portfolio. My overall portfolio was up more than 1, but it was, mainly because of BITK, but it was also because it wasn't because of ULTI. I don't have that, but there was a couple in there, a couple of other ones in there that was doing really well. Well, for one, ULTY, I have a lot of that, and that was up 1%, so, or something. So Grumpy says he agrees. I wonder if the equities were dragging it down. Yes. So I said we were going to look at that. Let's, it was iron. Yeah, it's exactly what it was. We had it right here. Let's hit this one more time, refresh, make sure it's the latest price. But yeah, that's one reason I was up more than 1% today, because I have a large position in ULTY and it was up. I have K yield and it was up. But yeah, mainly it was BITK. It was mainly BITK being up 6%. That did great. Okay, so let's go down here to blocks. And yeah, I think what got blocks is iron. And I also got I got the blocks name fixed. It finally says X funds. Everything's cool now. You have to be patient with AI. Anyway, all right. But I worked with it, and we'll see. We'll see. All right. Yeah, look at iron. Iron down 15%, and it's 6% of the fund. I mean, what's 15 times 6? Like, that's 90 basis points. That right there is dragging 90 basis points on this thing. Now the total thing is only worth down 36 basis points, but that alone was worth 90 basis points. They had a bunch of things that were up big also. Look at FBTC up 6.21. I mean, on 15% of the portfolio. So that's about 90 basis points also. Right? 15% of 6 is the same as, yeah, it's the same math. It's what am I thinking, right? I was thinking I just did this equation. Yeah. So they cancel each other out, but then you still have HUD 8 being 13% of the portfolio and being down 6%. So you have to do that. That comes out, whatever that comes out to. You guys get it. But then, ETHA darn sure helped being up 8%, as did Galaxy, as did Bullish, as did Bitmine Immersion. Yeah, but I don't know what the deal is on. I was kind of, I don't know if it's wishful thinking, but I really thought that the yield would come down, and I really thought that would help. That would take some of the pressure off ULTY's NAV. But anyway, it looks like the same pressure is going to be on as before. It's just one payment. Well, I'll keep looking at it, but I was really thinking it would go into the 6s. I mean, if it goes too low, though, they could have made it do that. They could have lowered it to 50 or 60. But then when you get down that low, then you might as well just there's other, it doesn't distinguish itself. I think they're just they just want to be in that ultra high yield space. The only people they're really competing with for customers over is Granite shares. Well, and Yield Max too. But yeah, if you dropped it to like 50%, you'd be better off just to get WPay. Or there's a million other things out there that also pay 50, 60%, So GPTY, but GPTY doesn't pay 50 or 60, it pays more like 35. But anyway, BDCs have been on sale due to the rate cuts. Great time to buy into the good ones. Hey, M Souls, how are you doing? Yeah, let's go. So were you happy, Shane, with the 58-cent payment? Now, it hasn't come out of the NAV yet. It doesn't. I think tomorrow is tomorrow or Thursday X day. Actually, I think Thursday. Anyway, it was announced today, and it's 58. So, and I just did the math really quick on that. It's really 59. So 59 times 12. Well, it's not times 12, though. It's times 52, right? Is $30. And the current price is like $40, right? So it's 30 divided by 40. Anyway, let's get the exact current price. Yeah, $39.95. So let's go back here. Yeah, 76%. So, that's great, but I hope they do it. They better do a darn good job picking stocks. Anyway, surprised probably because people like me were saying it'd be less. Maybe I was wishful thinking. I kind of wish it would be less. If it was around 50%, it would solve a lot of their problems because these stocks do have a chance to go up, that kind of amount. Because you think about it, these stocks have a beta of probably an average of 3 to the market. Meaning if the market's up 15%, these types of stocks in a good year, the market's up 20%. A portfolio of these kind of stocks could easily be up 50, 60, 70%. But if you're paying out 75%, anyway. All right, let's look at some other stuff. Let's go. I'll remember to put it on the screen, but I'm opening up a little. Let's see how other stuff is doing just besides the stuff I like to talk about. We'll go to stocktools.app, and then we'll put it over here and see what else is doing well. Tonight, the Max Factor show is going to be on, what's it going to be on? I'm trying to think. Oh, Tuesday, Tesla, NVIDIA, Google, probably Tesla, NVIDIA, Google. I think that's a good crew. That's going to be our crew tonight. I'll try to have it on about 7 because then I want to go try to do that other show right afterwards. I'm busier at night now that I'm trying to do everyday trade updates on ULTY and ULTI and K yield and blocks. All right, here we go. 1 day total return comparison. Well, here we go. But then what was the deal with the comment about WiMAX? You said, oh, you're wondering if WiMAX, just because of the lightning spreads. I remember now. All right. So the only ones that were up on a 1 day, oh, that's 1 month. Okay. Well, it looked pretty bleak on the 1 month calendar. On 1 day, we have Soxy, Chippy from YieldMax, LFGY. These are all YieldMax. Something's wrong. Give me just a second. We're going to load all of them. Yeah, Tesla Tuesday, Tesla, Google, and NVIDIA. Yeah, I figured out when the next reverse split's coming. and depends on what the market does. But if the market's in a average market, I don't know. I need to put out that video 2028 or something, because it has to drop all the way from 50 to 5. It drops about 50% a year in a good market. If the market continues in a bull market, like hopefully it will for everything else we own, it'll go to 20, 10, it'll go to 20, then it'll go to 10, and then it'll go to 5 in about 3 years. I figured it out to the month. It depends on how well the market does, but it's sometime in 2027 or 2028. You need to add to your K yield. You haven't. I wanted to add to it today, but I think QLDY's. I already have some, and I really think QLDY and WPay. I prefer the way QLDY and WPay work. It's I know it's just a month, but I really think those are a better option than K yield at this point in time. And plus, I already have some K yield. I already have like 10% K yield, but I thought about moving it to 15. But I had less of the other ones, and I wanted to move them up to 50, and I wanted to boost them. So just given my situation, I thought WPay and QLDY were the ones I needed. All right, here we go. Yeah, look at BITX. Is it really up 12%? I saw it was up 6%. My gosh, I didn't realize it was up 12%. MST is up 12%. Great job, MST. Maxi's killing it. MSTW's killing it. Heck yes, I have some of that through WPay and got some more today. YETH, Ether's killing it. BITO, of course, Baggy. BITO doesn't pay a payment, I don't think, a yield. Well, actually, it does. All right, never mind. Let's see, Baggy beating IBIT, or actually losing to IBIT by a little bit, but not by much. Doing a great job. MS2 beating its parent. YBTC underperforming the parent by a little bit, but still doing well. Where's BTCI on here? I would expect maybe BTCI to be higher. There's BTCI. BTCI and YBTC are both doing well. They're both doing well. BTGD up 6.4. Heck yeah. That's a good day, man. Look at old Misty even got in on the action. Even XBTY got in on some of this action here, up 4.2%. Heck yes. Hood. Heck yeah, I like that. All right. Yeah, MST, I don't know why it hasn't reverse split yet. All right, here we go, Bon. I'm sorry I missed this the first time. Your anchors are CLM, CRF, Less Gain, and PIMCO closed in. Oh, yeah, all income. Heck yeah. Man, those are some good ones, Bon. Those are some really good ones. Does the market reopen? Yeah, the market just opened. It's not doing anything, but let's go look at Bitcoin really quick. Hopefully Bitcoin rallies overnight and we have another bullish day. All right. Yeah, at least we're holding this trend line. All right, let's get it on a shorter time frame. Heck yeah, we're getting ready to break out. Again, hopefully we'll take out this price and, go to 94, 95 overnight. We can maybe aim for this area up here, 93.2, open up in the morning in a big gap up. Hopefully that'll make blocks, K yield, WPay, all the divas and everything else that we're looking at go up. Hopefully. Yeah, it looks like, hopefully Mr. is running. Is it going to keep running is the question. Is it going to keep running? Look at this thing. It's gone all the way from 160 to 182. It has a long way to go, though, but take out this moving average and start moving up. Man, I'd be all about it. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. There's probably some sellers hiding out up here in different places, but hopefully we can get up here and then start chewing through the sell orders and eventually work our way back, revert back to mean at 337. Rome wasn't built in a day. We're going to have to take it one day at a time, but that's a definite step in the right direction. Yeah, Grumpy expects it to. Grumpy expects it to. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys get out of here. I'm going to go take Jackson for a walk before it gets too dark. I appreciate you all being here. And I'm working on some new content, so be looking for that. But be here for the anything we didn't talk about, we'll talk about on the Daily Factor at 8 o'clock. But then after that, hopefully I'll get the new content out as well also. Benchmark raised their 1 year target price on Mr. to 705. Oh, my gosh. And wouldn't that be wonderful? I don't have any Mr., but you know what that would do for my blocks or for my ULTY or for anything that has Bitcoin exposure in it. My K-Yield has some Bitcoin. So does ULTY. ULTY didn't totally Bitcoinify. They have, as of today, they have 17% exposure to Bitcoin. So anyway, but they cut it from about 50% for sure. All right. Yeah, that slope is scary. I agree. Hey, Grumpy, thanks so much for being here. Thank you, all of you guys, for being here. And I'll be back here 7 or 8, and we can finish talking about whatever we are talking about now. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in a little while.